of a season for you. Why?
By far and away. You got a whole new football team. You believe you know what they are, but you got to go out and see it. So I was always the most nervous coming into the first game, always.
Yeah, it's exciting. And, guys, just for Minnesota, you got to remember Tanner Morgan is a very experienced quarterback. They got a talented offense line, a great running back. So this whole night feels like Minnesota can really, maybe they win the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a good matchup, guys.
For C.J. Stroud, his first start on the road, hostile environment. Fans are back. But how about this? That red jersey ain't on anymore, baby. You're live. You get hit now. How is he going to get a hit, get back up, and make sure he keeps delivering down the field?
I think for Minnesota, a lot of Mohamed Ibrahim. Hand that football off to him as many times as you can to help keep that other offense off the field.
Not just a hostile environment, but some rain and some wind as well. We'll see you at halftime. Let's send it upstairs for the first time this season. Joe Klatt and Gus Johnson.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Huntington Bank Stadium here in the Twin Cities, and we're ready for the number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes as they take on PJ Fleck's Minnesota Golden Gophers. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Joel Klatt, and welcome to Minneapolis. And we've got a good one for you here on Thursday night. Ohio State coming off a national championship appearance. They lost their quarterback, Justin Fields, to the NFL, but we are waiting to see one 19-year-old young man from Rancho Cucamonga, California, by the name of C.J. Stroud.
You know, I don't think it's just Buckeye fans. I think it's all of college football is waiting to see C.J. Stroud. Can he fill the enormous shoes left behind by Justin Fields? Here's the important part, though, Gus, is he doesn't have to be Superman. Why? Because he has absolute dudes around him, in particular on the outside, starting with Chris Olave. This is one of the best in America, folks. A front runner for the Biletnikoff Award. His counterpart, Garrett Wilson, on the other side of the field. 6 touchdowns in 8 games. C.J. Stroud doesn't have to be perfect because he is driving a Lamborghini. This is going to be one of the best offenses in college football.
As for Minnesota, 3-4 last year, but it was a COVID season, so we're going to throw that one out of the window. Prior to that, they were 11-2 the year before, and they are led by a running back that P.J. Fleck calls a combination of a bowling ball with razor blades. Mohamed Ibrahim.
That means he's going to run you over, and then he can also cut like a razor and get outside on the outside. Listen, I'm with Reggie Bush. He just told you, you got to ride Mohamed Ibrahim, and I am with you. He needs to touch the ball 25, 30 times. This is the leading rusher in the Big Ten back from a year ago, and he did that on that shortened season. He's got power, he's got speed, and most of all, he's got the heart. If they're going to win tonight, it's going to be because Mohamed Ibrahim has a huge night.
Time now to join the third member of our team on the sideline. The All-American girl who, by the way, folks, is at home. Jenny Tab.
Gus, you know I'm excited to be back home, but you know what I'm even more excited about? To be back in the action with these fans. We have been waiting for this moment, Gus. When we were talking to Minnesota quarterback Tanner Morgan this week, he said, we miss this. We miss the electricity, the energy of a packed house. And how does PJ Fleck feel about welcoming, you know, the one of the top teams in the nation to their house for this home opener? He said, bring it on. We're not worried about the Buckeyes. We're worried about playing Gopher football. They plan to do everything they can to disrupt C.J. Stroud in his first start with the Buckeyes. But this is about college football, guys. This is about enjoying the moment as a community. The Gopher fans, they're ready for the action.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Minnesota won the toss. They will receive the football. Perfect football conditions. We've got football weather here in the Midwest. 68 degrees, rain in the forecast. This is a series that dates back to 1921. Ohio State has won 45 of the 52 meetings, including the last 11. All right, folks, it's time to play our game, the American game of football. Ohio State, Minnesota, from the Twin Cities here in Minneapolis. Sellout crowd, and we're underway. Gophers with the fair catch inside the 10, and that will bring out fifth-year senior, Tanner Morgan, the starting quarterback for Minnesota.
Well, to say he's an extension of the coaching staff is an understatement. As smart as they come, tough competitor. But Gus, it's not about that for Tanner Morgan tonight. This is the first time he's running on the football field since the passing of his father just about a month ago, right before camp. I can't imagine what's going through his heart and his mind as he takes the field against the Buckeyes here for the first snap.
Tanner Morgan, 27th career start, 18 wins, 8 losses coming into this game. First down and 10. Ibrahim in the backfield. And they give it to him on first down, and he'll plunge forward, tackled by Tyreek Smith. Let's take a look at the starting offense for Minnesota. They have a number of veterans on their team, and the O-line is big.
Massive. They average over 330 pounds. They're experienced, the most experienced offensive line in the country with over 180 starts between them. Ibrahim, we've touched on him. The question is, who are they throwing the ball to? Chris Autumn-Bell was a total question mark coming into this ball game from a health perspective. Keep your eyes, though, on Dalen Wright, transfer from Texas A&M, number 16.
3-yard gain on the last play, second down and 7 yards. Opening series for Minnesota. Morgan pulls it down, wants to run it, has some room, picks up a first down, slides down close to the 40-yard line in front of Ransom, and that's a first down for the U. Let's take a look at the Ohio State defense.
Well, this is a huge question mark for this team. Is this defense going to be any better? They're deep and talented up front. Zach Harrison, he has got to have some production getting to the quarterback. The linebackers, very unproven and inexperienced. And in the back end, folks, some change-ups. Ryan Watts at corner and Denzel Burke. Gus, the true freshman, gets the start for the Silver Bullets.
Gain of 12 on the play. First down for Minnesota. At the 28, close to the 40-yard line. And Morgan with the handoff straight ahead. Ibrahim again with the power run. Eichenberg, the junior, with the stop.
The game plan for Minnesota tonight is going to be lean on that experienced and big offensive line. They also have extra offensive linemen. They're going to roll in 6 guys, 7 guys, sometimes on the field at the same time, and really force this into a slow tempo game. They're going to try to snap the ball all the way inside of 5 seconds on the play clock the entire night.
Second down and 5 after the 5-yard pickup. Tanner Morgan in no rush. They usually like to snap it late in the clock, and they run around the right side, close to a first down for Ibrahim. Teron Vincent, first man to him.
And this is the exact situation that these coaches from Minnesota wanted all night long. What did we say? We asked PJ Fleck, what do you want all night long? He said third and short. He wants it on every set of downs. He wants to take up as much time as he can, keep that high-powered offense for Ohio State on the sideline.
Third down and short from the 45. Morgan out of the shotgun. And they run it. Looking for the first down. Looks like they have it. Ronnie Hickman bringing down Ibrahim, who lined up in the Wildcat.
Well, they went Wildcat. 2 backs in the backfield. How about the push here from this offensive line? Like I said, they are experienced. They feel like they've got one of the better offensive lines in the country. A lot of attention being paid to the Buckeyes, and rightly so for their offensive line, and a talented one that we'll see here coming up. But this one is very good for the Gophers as well.
Good start for Minnesota on their opening series of the game. First down. Ibrahim. And this time he's stacked up and driven backwards.
The one area of this Ohio State defense last year that didn't struggle was stopping the run. They've got a lot of those same guys, at least up front back. They are deep and talented along that defensive line. Haskell Garrett, Antoine Jackson, Teron Vincent. A lot of size in there in the middle. Where they don't have experiences at linebacker. I'm interested to see how those guys play here tonight.
Only a 1-yard game. Second down and 9 for Minnesota, close to midfield. Morgan wants to let it fly, goes through his progressions, tucks it, cuts inside, and he'll get inside Ohio State territory, down at the 46. Mitchell, Eichenberg combining on the tackle.
Boy, that An interesting flag. You wonder if there was maybe a hand on a face mask or maybe a targeting coming up.
TreVeyon Mitchell.
Well, speaking of those linebackers, TreVeyon Mitchell had a great camp. Here he comes in. He's going after Morgan low. He doesn't go after his head or neck area. And I don't think Morgan is defenseless there. So it would have had to fall in the category of striking forcibly with his crown. Mitchell is a guy that was just voted a captain. He's a senior, looking for a big year. Great energy and leadership the entire camp. This would be a huge blow to this Ohio State defense, who's dealing with some injuries right now, and a lot of young players and inexperienced players, in particular in the second two levels, that linebacker level and in the defensive back. So we'll see where it comes down here.
All right, let's join our rules analyst in the studio in Los Angeles, Mikey Rulebooks. Here's Mike Pereira.
Mikey Rulebooks is looking at that targeting rule already, and Joel, you are spot on. He is not defenseless, but when you're talking about a defender, you cannot lower your head and attack, and that's basically what you look at. Do you get that head down? Are you looking down almost to the ground when you do lead with that ground? And to me, this is targeting, as you say, a tough loss. Tough loss so early in the game, but I think this probably stays as targeting.
You know, I don't make a living disagreeing with you, but I think it was on the side. I would just hate for him to. This is one of those, Mike, that you and I have talked about a lot, right? Like, I hope they change it and leave him in the game.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. Number 3 may remain in the game. It's third down.
And Mike, the only reason I said that is because it was so close, and there was some question whether it was that crown or if it was the left side of the helmet, and it was more of that grazing style of blow.
And remember, what you talk about here, you have to prove all aspects of it in order to stay with the targeting call. But you put yourself in that position when you lower your head like that.
Yep.
I agree with you. Might have been the shoulder, but that puts you right in that position where you could pay the consequences. I, too, am glad they didn't eject him.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. 3rd down and 4 for Minnesota. Ibrahim looking for the first down, flashes through the Ohio State defense and picks it up. Remember, this young man rushed for over 1,000 yards last year in 7 games, and he had 15 touchdowns.
And look how close he keeps this to the backside of that offensive line. Great block there on the outside, and then he squeezes down, Gus. This is why he's so good. See how he gets vertical, then he runs behind his pads there. He does a great job as Ronnie Hickman tries to come up and stop him, and he's so difficult to stop once he gets those pads down because he's such a fierce runner. There we go. I got to it.
First day with new lips, partner. Don't worry about it.
Right?
First down and 10. First game
for us too. Right?
That's right.
Yes.
1st and 10. And they'll run it around the right side. This time it's Trey Potts. He stood up, driven backwards. Ronnie Hickman, Mitchell combining on the play for the Buckeyes.
You'd still say, though, that this is the exact style of drive, right, that the coaching staff talked about wanting to have for Minnesota. Now, here's the kicker. You can't have a drive like this that's taking good quality time off the clock and then come up empty. So Tanner Morgan here is going to have to come up with a big throw. We haven't seen him with a completion yet. So they're going to have to do something through the air here as they're behind the chains.
2nd down and 13. Empty backfield for Morgan. Under pressure, tries to set up, and it's almost intercepted. Dangerous throw. Hamilton had that one in his hands, just couldn't hold on.
Oh, I thought we were going to have a big man rumble right there, right down the sidelines, rumbling and stumbling. He almost picks this one off, falls right into the lap of that screen. And that was almost a huge play for the Buckeyes. There's one paw on it, can't get the second paw on it, but it does bring up the best pass rushing situation that the Buckeyes have had all game long so far in this first series. We'll see if they can get home. They were not able to a year ago.
3rd down and 13. Passing situation. Ibrahim in motion out of the backfield. Morgan sets, bounces it outside, throws, and incomplete. So the Buckeyes bend, but they do not break. And here come the special teams for Minnesota. They'll punt it away.
Good coverage down the field. Nowhere to go for Tanner Morgan. And then it looked like he might get the edge, but closing fast was TreVeyon Mitchell. Forced him to throw that ball incomplete, and the Buckeyes force a punt.
Mark Crawford, the Aussie kicker, sophomore, standing at his own 44-yard line. Garrett Wilson, the deep man. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 10. So coming on the field for the first time, a 19-year-old C.J. Stroud, the starting quarterback for Ohio State. Time now for progressive game flow. Teen-year-old C.J. Stroud, 6'3", 205, a redshirt freshman from Rancho Cucamonga, California. And he was named the 2021 starter after the team's second fall scrimmage 11 days ago. First down and 10. Stroud to throw his first college pass, and it's on the money to Garrett Wilson. And as you mentioned, partner, he's got some dudes around him.
Oh, man, and it might start up front, right? This is potentially the best O-line in the country. Thayer Munford's going to move from tackle down to guard, but they're deep and talented in the backfield on the outside. It's a plethora of weapons.
Ball starts. Offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's the veteran All-American, Chris Olave. Some early game jitters for one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in America.
Yeah, and this is exactly what P.J. Fleck wants. He's even raising his hands. He wants this student section to get loud. Guy making his first start, backed up in the shadow of his own goal line.
Second down and 8. Play fake. Stroud drops it off in the flats. That's Jackson Smith in Jigba, a sophomore from Rockwall, Texas. Another one of those dynamic receivers for Ohio State. Jordan Howden with the tackle.
This defense really struggled last year, but they're getting some help in the form of transfers. Niall Pickney up front. He was a captain for Clemson. He won 2 national championships. This is a guy that's very good up there at the defensive tackle position. Braylon Oliver's back from an ACL. They've got a veteran secondary. Really their best cover guy, Coney Durr, on the outside.
First down and 10 at the 21. Pump fake. Stroud goes down the field. Oh, incomplete. Garrett Wilson out of step. Stroud couldn't put it on him. And that will bring up second down.
Boy, that was a good ball there. And I thought Wilson wins right here, and it's just out of his reach. Wonder if that little bit of moisture falling, that rain, might have allowed that to slip through his hands there, because Stroud almost had him in stride.
Makes it second down and 10 at the 21-yard line. Opening series for the Buckeyes. Williams, the lone setback, and he'll burst through the hole and get close to the first down marker. Now they're missing Trey Sermon, who got drafted by the San Francisco 49ers. He was their star running back late in the season. They're looking for the man to carry the load this year. And they're running around the right side. Williams down the sideline. High stepping. Miyan Williams, touchdown Ohio State. Just like that.
Boy, looked like he was shot out of a cannon, wasn't it? I mean, he was rolling there. I love right here. First, you're going to get Ruckert. He gets a block right there, but then it's just all Williams. He just totally out-leverages Tyler Nubin, number 27, beats him to the sideline, and then he's gone. There was nobody else. Nobody had the angle. Williams is not touched, and he goes for the touchdown. What a series for Ohio State.
Extra point is up for Noah Ruggles, the freshman, and it's good. So Ohio State, ground and pound early. Buckeyes taking a 7-0 lead on the road here in Minnesota.
Get ready. It's time for the
College football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by Cerveza Dos Equis. Get a dose. Please drink responsibly. There's still time to play the Fox Bet Super 6 college football contest for a chance to win $10,000. Scan the QR code now to download the app and answer 6 questions about tonight's Ohio State versus Minnesota game for your chance to win. So if you had Miyan Williams scoring the first touchdown today for the Buckeyes, you win a prize.
Yeah, and it would be a big prize because I wouldn't have bet a lot of money on that, right, with all the weapons that they had coming back. But, man, it just shows you the depth that they have. And I think that running back room might be as deep and as talented as it's been in recent history. And that's even without J.K. Dobbins and Trey Sermon. I mean, they've just recruited at such a high level.
Noah Ruggles sends it away. He was the graduate transfer from UNC, University of North Carolina. Fair caught. Coming up, Minnesota. Let's see how they respond. Down 7-0 at home.
You know how. Welcome back to Minnesota. Gus, Joel, I know you briefly mentioned it off the top of the game, but Minnesota quarterback Tanner Morgan, he lost his biggest fan last month. His father, Ted Morgan, passed away in July from brain cancer. Tanner told us that today it may be emotional, but he takes comfort in knowing that playing football for the Minnesota Gophers is exactly what his dad would want him to be doing. Good news for Tanner, his mom, sister, some family, they're in the stands supporting him, and Tanner said, it was the support of my teammates that got me through. They are why I'm doing okay today.
All right, thank you very much, Jen. And on first down from the 25, incomplete pass. Brady Boyd, the intended receiver, and Coach Fleck had so many great things to say about this young man's character. He said he could be my offensive coordinator tomorrow, and I will hire him as my offensive coordinator. He's going to be a coach one day.
Yeah, and it was reciprocated when we talked to Tanner and just the, obviously no one's going to replace his father, but just the wisdom that PJ had for him during his time in need, his teammates stepping up, the coaching staff stepping up, and he said that this was my family and where I was most comfortable being.
Nice throw. Morgan puts that one on the money. Dalen Wright, the Texas A&M transfer, redshirt sophomore. He is a heck of a specimen, 6'3", 215.
Yeah, and they're going to need somebody on the outside. That's one of my biggest questions for Minnesota is who's going to step up and be a threat on the outside for Tanner Morgan. I think it's got to be Dalen Wright. Listen, this guy is an absolute monster. He looked terrific in practice yesterday, great in warm-ups, and they've got to find a matchup and a way to get him targeted here early in this game.
Picked up 13 yards on the play. First down at the 38. Ibrahim bottled up, and he'll gain a half yard on the play.
What I'm seeing right now, Gus, is that Ohio State understands what Minnesota is trying to do. And they're just going to say, okay, I know we got inexperience on the outside, but they're going to leave. Kerry Combs, the defensive coordinator, they're going to leave these guys on an island, and they're going to play man out on the outside, and they're going to load that box, and they're going to send all the troops to try to stop Mohamed Ibrahim. And now they're going to have one-on-one opportunities if Minnesota wants to try to throw the ball. And right now, right at the bottom of your screen, matched up with a true freshman in Denzel Burke.
Second down and 9 at the 39. Play fake to the sideline. And another catch for Wright.
They're going to play that soft coverage, then this is exactly what Minnesota has got to do, right? Is they've got to try to get what I would call cheap yards. To get that free access corner, that means that corner has deep responsibility. You take those cheap yards when they come. Look at this big old jumbo package. Look at all these offensive linemen on the field for Minnesota.
Out of the Wildcat formation, Ibrahim will take the snap. O'Keefe is the big man next to him. Ibrahim, oh man, he runs into a brick wall and will lose yardage on the play. Harrison sticking his nose in it. Josh Proctor cleaned it up.
Yeah, about Harrison and the coaching staff raving about Harrison, his ability to not only get to the quarterback during camp, but also stop the run. He just put that offensive lineman right back into the backfield, and then he's there to stop Ibrahim.
So Gophers will have to punt it away for the second time. Mark Crawford from his own 31. Garrett Wilson is the deep man, standing in his side, his own 15. This one angled to the near side. And it will be downed inside the 10. Good special teams work for the young man from Australia. And that will bring C.J. Stroud onto the field for the second time. Ohio State with the ball and the lead. Fox College Football is sponsored by Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Protect what matters most.
Our Ram Power Players is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Those power players for Ohio State, those 4 offensive linemen, Nicholas Petit-Frere, Thayer Mumford, Paris Johnson, DeJuan Jones. All of them, folks, are really tackles, but they're all on the field at the same time. You got Paris Johnson and Thayer Mumford moving down and playing guard. I'm telling you, man, this is a talented offensive line.
Master Teague checks in the game now at running back for Ohio State. Second series for C.J. Stroud. He'll fire it out wide, and he has Garrett Wilson. Turns it up, and Wilson knocked out of play by Olave.
We've seen so far Ryan Day be very bold in his play calling, even backed up here inside the 15 and 10-yard line, allowing his young quarterback to come out and sling it around a little bit. And why not? Ryan Day knows that if he's going to get one-on-one coverage or space on the outside, he's got the wide receivers to attack that area.
Second down and 3 at the 16. Teague, power running, looking for the first down, and he has it. Master Teague rushed for 514 yards and 8 touchdowns a year ago. He's Ohio State's active leader in rushing yards and touchdowns.
And he really found his footing a little bit late in the season, along with Trey Sermon, when they started putting him a little deeper. And they started putting him in what's called the pistol formation, which you'll see right here, which means he is behind the quarterback, and he's got a little bit more space in order to get to the offensive line. He runs so hard and so fast, that timing works a lot better.
First down and 10 at the 20. Play fake. Stroud dancing in the pocket, throws over the middle, incomplete. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver, that one thrown high. Jordan Houghton covering the safety.
Well, they were trying for a shot there, and this is one of those deep crossing routes. Good protection from the offensive line, but way over the head of Garrett Wilson. Day loves to take shots. We know that. We've covered this team enough to know that he's going to take his shots, try to force the football down the field. And tonight was going to be no different, whether it was C.J. Stroud's first start or his 15th.
Second down and 10 at the 20-yard line. There's that pistol formation. Teague. They give it to him. Teague looking for a hole. Hits the sideline. Picks up some real estate before being chopped down. Terrell Smith, Jack Gibbons in on the play for Minnesota.
I think that was a great example because it wasn't really there early, and then all of a sudden that hole opened up a little later, and since he was deeper away from the line of scrimmage, that's when he was able to hit the hole.
That's a formation the old Nevada coach created.
That's right, the old pistol formation.
Third down and 4. Can Minnesota get off the field? Olave, the wide receiver at the top of your screen. Ruckert, tight end in the slot. In motion now. Teague looking for the first down and has it. Master Teague. Sweet feet. Calvin Swenson chops him down.
Look at the cover up that you're getting on the interior. Guard, center guard. Luke Wilper is in the lineup because Harry Miller was not able to play tonight. So he fills in as center, does a beautiful job there. Getting up to the linebacker. Teague reads it beautifully. He gets those shoulders square and he's able to get upfield and move the chains.
So Teague picks up 10. First down at the 36. Teague stretches it out to the right side, And hops through the hole. Picks up a few.
You know what's fascinating to me is that 2 years ago in 2019's J.K. Dobbins, he was quick in a phone booth. So this offense was better when he was up next to the quarterback. So they were better in what I would call is like a regular zone, like a formation like this. Well, last year they were better in the pistol. So therefore, the big play action pass was more a part of what they can do. And I think that they've got both of those elements in the running back room. They can be good at both of those styles of run.
Second down and 7, play fake. Stroud steps up in the pocket, goes for the home run. Olave, and incomplete, flag on the play. Chris Olave was the intended receiver. Terrell Smith will be called for interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That was the reach out with the left hand. At first, it looked like a little incidental contact, but absolutely not. Look at him reach out with his left hand. He grabs the collar and kind of pulls on Chris Olave's jersey that draws the flag. It's absolutely the right call right there, and Olave had a little bit of a step, but that grab was absolutely interfering with Olave's ability to go get that ball.
Chris Olave, a former baseball player, he does a terrific job of tracking that ball when it's in the air.
He's so smooth, right? When he's working deep in the secondary, he is just so silky smooth finding that space.
First down. Here's Teague plowing through the hole. Stumbles forward. Justice Harris with the tackle.
I'm interested to see when we're going to see their true freshman running back TreVeyon Henderson. You know, they got a lot of backs, and they're going to have to try to share the ball because there's so many stars. But TreVeyon Henderson, number 32, at some point is going to get a chance. This series, it's been all Teague. First series was Miyan Williams. He hit the home run for the touchdown on their first go at it.
Second down and 7 at the 43-yard line. Closing moments of the first quarter. Ruckert in motion.
Fleck took a timeout there, I think.
Minnesota calls their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds remaining.
31 seconds to go in the first quarter. Ohio State up 7-0 with the football. Now college football is back. The fans are back, and so is Fox's big noon kickoff. Rob, Brady, Matt, Reggie, and Coach Stoops are on the road with us for the first 4 weeks of the season as we travel to Minneapolis, Madison, Columbus, Norman, and Chicago. Big noon kickoff at 10 a.m. Eastern every Saturday on Fox.
Man, 10 a.m. this Saturday, live in Madison. There he is.
Coach Stoops.
Big game Bob. Comes over. Now they got to call him Big Show Bob, right?
That's right.
I can't wait, man. I tell you what, Tom Rinaldi is going to have an amazing, inspirational story behind Penn State's Joey Porter.
Did you mention Tom Rinaldi?
Yes, sir.
Every time you mention that name, I start to cry.
Well, if you want a tearjerker, it's Big Noon Bob Stoops, Big Noon Tom Rinaldi, 10 a.m. Eastern Time Saturday. Check them out.
Second and 7. They swing it out to Olave looking for a block. Cuts it inside, dives forward. And he either has the first down or is close to it. Out and again with the stop for the Gophers.
I think they're going to give it to him there. If they don't snap it here, you know, they've been going at this slow pace. I think Ryan Day is just comfortable allowing his offense to operate at a little slower tempo. He loves the control that this offensive line is given. They got the big play.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the score. Ohio State 7, Minnesota nothing. Coming up the second quarter from the Twin Cities right here on FOX. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, Jenny Tabb, Mike P. In the studio in Los Angeles. Ohio State, this is their second series of the game. First down and 10 at the Minnesota 36. And Teague running it left. Not a lot of room. Nicely done defensively. Braylon Oliver plugging up the hole, the redshirt sophomore from Georgia.
This is that spot on the field. Ryan Day loves to allow Chris Olave the opportunity to work. You know, he'll bring him in motion sometimes, or he'll send him on kind of an inside route and allow him to try to run a read route on the safety.
Wilson in motion. Olave at the bottom of your screen. Play fake. Stroud looks backside. Delivers over the middle. Ruckert with the first down and more. Jeremy Ruckert dragged down inside the Minnesota 20-yard line. And who could forget that catch he had the Big Ten championship a couple years ago?
Oh, I mean, this dude is so talented, right? And he just blocks, and then he goes to the backside. A little bit of a throwback. Get the defense's eyes and attention going one way, and then they come back with Ruckert going the other way. That one-handed grab really got them started. Remember, Wisconsin was playing so well in that Big Ten championship game, Gus, and that ultimately is what kick-started the Buckeyes' comeback, was the one-handed grab from Ruckert.
Gain of 15. First down and 10 to the 18-yard line. Stroud all day to throw it. Stroud buying time, and he'll throw this one out of bounds. But I like C.J. Stroud's composure to start this game. This is his first college game. He's 19 years old. And he looks cool and calm.
That's what the coaches say was his hallmark, you know, throughout his career so far at Ohio State, is that he never got too high on the highs or low at the lows, and he always was very even-keeled, and that's something that Ryan Day hoped would manifest itself here once he got on the field, and it has so thus far.
12th play of the drive. Second down and 10. From the 18, low snap, handled by Stroud. Rolls out, throws on the move, and incomplete. Wilson, closest man to the football. And that brings up third down and long.
Well, I mean, they were having some problems there. First of all, Whippler, the center, he snaps it low. It goes off his butt like he thinks it's under center and not in shotgun. Stroud does a great job getting the ball, but I think it slipped out of his hand because he was even looking down and looking at his hand like it slipped out.
Third and 10, Ohio State 2 for 2 on third down conversions tonight.
Boy, this would be a big win for Minnesota's defense if they can force a field goal here.
Teague in motion. Stroud. We haven't seen him run yet. Over the middle. And Jigba stumbles, barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mariano Sori-Marin there to bring him down. And as you mentioned, partner, this will be a win for the Gophers as they force the field goal attempt.
Yeah, nice job by the linebackers. They're staying home. Mariano Sori-Marin, he's there as Jackson Smith and Jigba gets tripped up by that turf monster. Huge win there for Minnesota. PJ loving it, forcing the field goal.
So Noah Ruggles, the transfer from North Carolina, in to attempt the field goal. 35-yarder. Got it up. And good. Buckeyes settle for 3. Second quarter, Ohio State up 10-0. Well, Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. And by Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G and Z Flip 3 5G. All right, tonight's game is featured on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. One of the questions in tonight's contest is which team will win and by how many points. There are chances to win all season long. Ohio State has gone on 2 long drives. The first one, 91 yards, their opening series for a touchdown. Then they march it 74 yards down the field and settle for the field goal.
Back to receive for the Golden Gophers, number 3.
Still a big win for Minnesota there to force that field goal because it keeps them kind of within striking distance. Right now, it presents a big series here for their offense. They got to go down and get points, right? Because this Ohio State team, what you don't want to allow them to do is go run away and hide.
And they'll run it back this time with Trey Potts, who'll get up the sideline close to the 20. Jersey Mike's is here in Minneapolis. Download the Jersey Mike's app play college football trivia, and be entered to win a VIP experience. What a great atmosphere here in the Twin Cities. Had a chance to go to my favorite spot. One of my favorite spots. It's called the Loon here in downtown Minneapolis. The chicken chili is coming for halftime. You're going to be
I can't
excited.
wait. You've been listen. You've talked it up, so I'm trying not to set the bar too high.
Oh, it's a high bar.
Disappointed.
No, you will not be disappointed.
Okay, I trust you.
But I was disappointed. They got rid of the ribeye steak on the menu. Terrible. COVID cut, they said.
COVID casualty.
First down and 10 at the 20. Tanner Morgan trying to get things going for the Gophers. Ibrahim pushes the pile forward. There's that bowling ball type leg drive. Let's go downstairs and check in with JT.
Gus, a big loss for the Gophers offense tonight. They're playing without receiver Chris Ottman-Bell. He suited up, couldn't go, dealing with a lower body injury sustained in camp. Right now he's day-to-day, but expected to be a top receiver for the Gophers this year. The senior has over 1,200 career yards, so obviously they miss him now. Hopefully he's back soon. And Gus, by the way, you mentioned the Loon. Are you sending me any chili? Because I like that place too.
Well, you're at home, Jenny. I figured your mom did your laundry yesterday, as you told me.
That's true.
All right, so you got food. You should have brought us something.
Fair enough.
And they'll run it again. The right side. Teron Vincent with the tackle.
Well, Jenny just talked about Chris Ottman-Bell. You know, he had 22 catches last year. The rest of their wide receiver core combined in their career came into tonight with 22 catches. So, again, a huge question mark was going to be who is catching the ball on the outside. But here, Gus, they're going to go Wildcat. Tanner Morgan split out wide.
Third down and 3. Can they get there? Doesn't look like it. Ibrahim submarining forward. He looks short. Taraja Mitchell gobbled him up. And P.J. Fleck has to make a decision.
Boy, this would be a bold move here to go for this fourth down. The last thing you want to do is give Ohio State a short field like this. It looks like they're going to stay on the field. Here's the deal. The last play they just ran was more of the short yardage situation, and now they've taken a lot of time as if this decision to go for it on fourth has taken them by surprise.
So fourth down and 1. Morgan in the shotgun. And a timeout call by Ohio State. Big 4th and 1 coming up. Back after this. College football is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. To help people affected by Hurricane Ida, visit redcross.org or text the word Ida to 90999. That's 90999 to make a $10 donation. Your gift is a commitment to helping people in need, and every single donation matters. Financial donations enable the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from the disaster. Fourth down and 1. Let's see if Minnesota snaps it. At their own 29, they do. And it's a first down and more. Ibrahim, can he get there? Ibrahim down the sideline, cuts it back, and on 4th and 1, Mohammed speaks. Bryson Shaw with the saving tackle.
Boy, what a run from Ibrahim. He's just going to sit back on that backside, and then boom, do you see that cut right there? Those are the razor blades. Watch this, Gus, right here. Right there, bang. He just steps out to his left and just runs away from the defense. What a terrific run from Ibrahim. P.J. Fleck, that is listen, I didn't love going for it on 4th and 1 there. You know what I do love? Watching Ibrahim get the ball. That was great.
As my partner Bill Raftery would say, for P.J. Fleck, onions to make that call. First down and 10. And it's Trey Potts.
Legend Cavazos was number 4. He was the one that could have come in and stopped Mo Money, as his teammates call him. Ibrahim is just so good, Gus, and one of the things that, you know, we always make the boxing analogy, right? So I'm going to go there. This guy is like body blows, but then he also presents the quickness to jump outside and hit the home run like you just saw on the 4th and 1.
But can the Gophers pay it off? 2nd down and 8 at the Ohio State 13. Morgan in the end zone. Touchdown! Dalen Wright went up high. Use all 6'3". And P.J. Fleck and the Gophers are on the board.
Well, they desperately needed someone to step up on the outside, and they found their man, Dalen Wright, the transfer from Texas A&M. Dude is an absolute monster. 6'3", goes right up over the top. Tanner Morgan, great throw. I mean, an absolute great throw. Working against the redshirt freshman, Legend Cavazos. He just goes up, snatches it out of the air for a touchdown. What a drive.
Matthew Trickett in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. Minnesota in business now against the 4th-ranked team in the nation. As Dalen Wright pulls down the 13-yard touchdown. 10-7, Buckeyes. Six-play, 80-yard drive, eating up 3 minutes and 34 seconds. The big play, though, the 56-yard run by Ibrahim on 4th down and 1.
And Gus, you and I both were looking at each other like, are they really going to go for this deep in their own territory? P.J. Fleck's boldness was rewarded by his veteran running back. What a run by Ibrahim. He sidesteps a defender, goes 56 yards, and then the transfer, right? The questions coming in, both on each side of the ball. Ohio State's pass defense, were they going to be any good? On the other side, Minnesota, they needed someone to step up a wide receiver, and now we still have questions for Ohio State as we see the freshman on the field, TreVeyon Henderson, number 32, back to receive.
And they say this kid is special. Let's see if he'll get an opportunity to return one. If not, get a couple of carries on this upcoming series for the Buckeyes. Kesich will kick it away for the Gophers. TreVeyon Henderson, the freshman.
Hey, Gus,
back deep.
Have we had the coaching staff ever talk as highly about a back from Ohio State?
I haven't heard him.
Right.
Talk this highly about a freshman.
Let's see what you got.
All right, Gopher students, let's get behind this kick by Kesich.
This one boomed and into the end zone for a touchback. Starts Saturday strong on Fox with the big new kickoff pregame show live and on site from Madison at 10 a.m. Eastern. Then it's a triple header featuring 19th ranked Penn State squaring off with number 12 Wisconsin. Then at 4:30 on Fox, number 23 Louisiana takes on number 21 Texas, followed by number 16 LSU making their first ever appearance at the Rose Bowl to face UCLA. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
I mean, what a day.
UCLA looks a lot better this year.
They do. I think that they've got a terrific team. TreVeyon Henderson still in. The unknowns for Ohio State playing out a little bit. We'll see about C.J. Stroud. Has the defense been fixed? We'll see. And then the freshman impact. This might be one of the best freshmen they've had in a long time. Let's see what he's got.
First down and 10. They throw it out near side. Wilson with the catch. Splits the defense and will stumble down at the 31. And the tackle made by Jordan Houghton.
What I love about first games, right, Gus, is that all the anticipation and the questions about these programs, in particular a program like Ohio State, we get to see if they've answered.
Second down and 4 after the 6-yard gain. And here's Henderson, his first carry, and he picks up a bunch. Houghton again with the stop. TreVeyon Henderson, they feel, is special.
Man. Well, he's got a big hole to run through there. Obviously, run behind that offensive line helps, but The running back coach, Tony Alford, said his favorite part about TreVeyon Henderson is the finish. He always gets behind his pads and delivers the blow. And for a young player, that's unique and rare, and it's something that he does innately.
Gain of 10, first down. Stroud rolling out. Throws across his body, incomplete. Olave, the intended receiver.
Well, we've seen now several overthrows from Stroud. He's looked at his hand a couple of times as if the ball has slipped out. But the passing game, which was good early on the first couple of series, you know, in the short passing game has sputtered a bit here of late, as there's a player from Minnesota down here on the near sideline.
And I thought, as Jenny mentioned at the top of our broadcast, PJ Fleck wants to make the Ohio State coaches coach. We'll talk more about that after this. Welcome back to the Twin Cities. 2nd and 10 at the 41 for Ohio State. Leading it 10-7. CJ Stroud, the 19-year-old from Rancho Cucamonga, California, making his first college start. Out of the gun. Stroud pulls it out over the middle. Intercepted. Smith down the sideline. Minnesota forces a first turnover of the game. Stroud had to make the tackle, but PJ Fleck said he wants to make the Ohio State coaches coach, which means confuse this 19-year-old.
I think he just overthrew that again. That was just behind Chris Olave, and you got to credit Mariano Sori-Marin. Watch 55. He jumps up right there, kind of gets a hand up there. It's hard to see if that was tipped or not, but Olave's trying to reach back behind his body, go up there, and he tips the ball. Charles Smith is right there for the interception. And this Minnesota team now, boy, has that 4th and 1 just totally changed the dynamic of this game. They get the 4th down conversion, go down and score, and then a huge turnover for their defense.
First down, and it's Potts as he gets around the corner. Picks up 6, maybe 7 on the play.
Well, this is the perfect scenario now. You are at home if you're PJ Fleck. You've got one of the most talented teams in the country, a team that has owned the Big Ten, but this is the perfect scenario, right? You've got an experienced team and an experienced quarterback. It's their quarterback's first start. You're in your own building. It's at night. The atmosphere is amazing. Now you got to go pay it off. If they can score here, you know what the Ohio State Buckeyes will start to feel? The creep of panic, and that's what you don't want to feel as a heavy favorite.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Ibrahim in the backfield with Tanner Morgan. Spanford in motion. Ibrahim breaks the tackle. First down, Gophers. Minnesota strong. Minnesota tough. There's the bowling ball.
Ibrahim is going to step out of and run through arm tackles. There's one arm tackle. He just runs right through it. Then he gets behind his pads. He's always going to run for more. Mitchell tries to come in with some force, but not before Ibrahim can move the chains.
Ibrahim 5'10", 210. First down. At the Ohio State 23. Morgan pulls it out, fires far side. He's got his receiver, Spanford, and he stumbles forward, thrown out of bounds. Tommy Eichenberg with the tackle. But right now, the Gophers moving and grooving.
You got confusion here on the outside. Watch the young Buckeyes secondary. They leave wide open over there. Spanford. And he goes right down the sideline. Too easy right there for an experienced quarterback. You can't just give him an easy bunny like that. And now Minnesota is in business here inside the 10.
16-yard gain. First down and goal for PJ Fleck and the Gophers at the Ohio State 7.
Got to pay it off. Got to pay it off, Gus, right? They got to get in the end zone here.
Ibrahim in the backfield. They give it to him. And he'll pick up 2 yards. getting down to the 5.
I think you got to get Dalen Wright back on the field. Even if you're not going to throw it to him, you at least got to put him as a threat out there, and maybe that loosens up the defense. You might have to get a safety over the top. I think you got to get a threat on the outside here to the far side of the field. They're not going to do that. They're going to stay big with these extra offensive linemen. This is, I think, playing into Ohio State's hands here because their front, their defensive line is the strongest part of that defense, and Ryan Day knows it.
Second down and goal at the 5. Morgan looking, lobs it in the air, and incomplete. Daniel Jackson, the sophomore from Kansas City, the intended receiver.
Looks like he was going to come back and made a nice play on the ball, but this is the true freshman in coverage, number 29, Denzel Burke. Kerry Combs very high on Denzel Burke as he gets his hands in there and causes the incompletion. Fans here want the little contact, but no flag.
So that makes it third down and goal at the 5.
You got one-on-one on the top, and I think you got a better matchup. There's Dalen Wright.
Morgan looks that way. Guns it. And a flag. Dalen Wright was the target. And Minnesota.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. It's on the target in the end zone by rule. The ball will be placed to the 2-yard line. First and goal.
Well, we saw the tug of the jersey earlier go against Minnesota, against Chris Olave. Right here, it's Denzel Burke who tugged on the jersey just a little bit before the pass arrived. Wright was trying to bring that down. Circus catch all the way to the ground, but P.J. Fleck knows, man, that was absolutely what he needed. Get a new, fresh set of downs for that big, experienced offensive line now inside the, what is that, 3-yard line here for the Gophers.
First down and goal at the 2. Ibrahim. They give it to him. Ibrahim trying to break it back, and he'll be lucky if they spot it at the line of scrimmage. Antoine Jackson, first man to him.
You know, at some point, Tanner Morgan is going to have to read this and take it himself, because Ohio State right now is closing so fast from the edge, trying to stop Mohamed Ibrahim, that edge is where it's at. And here they'll go Wildcat here, Gus. A couple of backs in the backfield, Ibrahim and Potts.
And they snap it to Ibrahim, looking for a hole, but denied by the Buckeyes as Ibrahim gets all the way down to the 1. And that ball may be spotted inside the 1.
And again, extra offensive linemen coming on the field for Minnesota. Boy, he runs so tough, but that Ohio State defense right in the middle, they are playing good football, trying to stop that run against some misdirection here, not going straight at him, trying to get on the edge, I think would behoove Minnesota.
Morgan back in the game under center this time, out of the I formation. Ibrahim, the deep man. They give it to him. Ibrahim, touchdown! Gophers! And how about this, folks? Closing moments of the first half. Minnesota with a chance to take a 14-10 lead over the world-famous Buckeyes.
Well, they got onto the edge, and they got onto the edge because of O'Keefe. Watch this block. Bam! That is big power football out on the edge, and they did angle it outside of the tackle just a little bit. Got to the soft point of the defense, and it's a touchdown.
Matthew Trickett for the extra point, and it's good. 3:32 to go, second quarter. Minnesota with a 4-point lead. P.J. Fleck congratulating his men. He gambled on a big play. Got a 56-yard run from his best player. And then an interception, and they pay it off. 14-10 Gophers.
This is exactly how they wanted to play it out. Granted, Ohio State got their big play for a touchdown. But other than that big run, Minnesota has hung tough, and that's exactly the style of game that P.J. Fleck wanted, right? He just wanted to knock down, drag out, take this team deep into the game so that creep of panic starts to show up, right? And C.J. Stroud now has big questions to answer. How will you respond after your biggest mistake in college football so far? The interception, here he comes. Minnesota puts it into the end zone, and now he's got to respond and get back on the field.
TreVeyon Henderson, the deep man for Ohio State. Plenty of time. Buckeyes with 2 timeouts left. Kesich will send it away. He's got a big leg. He's their kickoff specialist. Drives this one. All right, let's check in with Rob Stone.
Hey, Gus, coming up on the State Farm at halftime, we're going to check in on a dark horse Heisman candidate who's putting up big numbers tonight. Former Michigan quarterback Joe Milton makes his Tennessee debut. And Coach Stoops on that new-look Penn State offense ahead of our road trip to Madison. Can't wait to see you guys at halftime. Can't wait to see you in Wisconsin, my friend.
No doubt about it. Thank you very much, Stoner. Got a great game developing here in Minneapolis. First down and 10 now, Ohio State. At the 25, Miyan Williams in at running back. He scored the big touchdown in the first quarter on their first series. They give it to him. And he's dragged down at the 30.
Well, it started out pretty good for C.J. Stroud. He looked in rhythm. He started 5 of 7 on his first passing attempts, but since then, just 2 of 6.
How does he play with the deficit? Here's Garrett Wilson. Stop and start, close to the first down. But there is a flag.
Holding. Offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Second down.
That's Jeremy Ruckert, the tight end.
And again, exactly what Minnesota needs. Ohio State behind the chains. This is exactly what I was just referencing. C.J. Stroud started 5 of 7 since he's 3 of 7. He's thrown that interception, and a few of those, most of them really, have been overthrows, in particular when he's trying to set up from the pocket and get the ball down the field. And now you're starting to talk about those obvious down situations here when you're behind the chains, when you've got to throw the ball.
Second down and 11. They run it with Williams, and he's chopped down as he crosses the line of scrimmage. Well done, M.J. Anderson, the redshirt sophomore from Christian Brothers High School in St. Louis.
This is the biggest snap of Stroud's life so far, right? And I know it's the first game and it's the first half, but 3rd and long, there's a difference between throwing it when you want to and throwing it when you have to. Well, he's got to step up and throw one now.
Empty backfield now, the motion. Williams lines up next to Stroud. Minnesota showing blitz. Stroud looks to the sideline on 3rd and 9. Here they come. Stroud rolling. Stroud buying time and just steps out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. Ohio State will have to punt it away. Thomas Rush in hot pursuit. And if you look back at Ohio State, Braxton Miller, J.T. Barrett, Cardell Jones as well, Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields, they have not missed on a quarterback in quite some time.
No, they haven't. And listen, we're not.
And not saying that.
But it's tough, boy. The eyes of college football right now are kind of descending upon this game as Ohio State has some serious questions to answer.
Merkel sends it away. Picked up, Potts on the move. And he goes down at the 44.
Take a look at the Pacific Life game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Protect what matters most. And here is what we have got cooking right now. Ohio State, they've been pretty good running the football. Neither team has been great throwing it, but it's been Mohamed Ibrahim that has done the bulk of the damage for Minnesota. 17 carries already, 99 yards, a touchdown, and more importantly, the play of the game. The 4th and 1 goes for 56 yards, and it set this entire comeback up. They were down 10-0. Now it's 14-10 for the Gophers and the ball in a fairly short field to work with.
First down and 10 yards to go at the 44. 1:28 remaining in the second quarter. Potts in the backfield with Tanner Morgan. Morgan over the middle and a nice catch. Dalen Wright. Oh, incomplete. He couldn't hold on.
Just out in front of him. They're trying this RPO. This is kind of their bread and butter, right? If you watched Rashad Bateman for a couple of years, you know this is exactly where they try to go. Just couldn't bring it down as it was out in front of him, and he went to the turf.
Rashad Bateman, 27th overall pick with the Baltimore Ravens. 2nd and 10. Ibrahim back in the game. Ibrahim looking. Ibrahim picks his way through the hole, keeps going, and picks up a first down. They know about the razor blade, the bowling ball. Ohio State knows about him as well.
And watch right here. This is the vision. He just waits, and right there, boom, he sees it, and he gets upfield, and then he's tough to tackle. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy is as good as anybody in America, and Ibrahim led the Big Ten in rushing. Here he is, first half against Ohio State, over 100 yards already. He has been as advertised.
Gained 11, first down at the 45. Ibrahim again. And Ohio State knows how good this young man is. Back in 2018 as a freshman, Ibrahim ran for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns in Columbus.
And that was a game that P.J. Fleck had a ton of really young players that had no business being on the field yet. And guess what he did? He traveled them and put them on the field so that he said, in his words, he said, I wanted them to see what a championship team was. So he put them on the field against Ohio State in the shoe. Guys like Daniel Falele, the right tackle here tonight. All these young players, right? And he said, tomorrow night, we met with them yesterday, tomorrow night is when that decision pays dividends. Our guys know what it looks like, and we want to go out there and put ourselves to the test. And here's Daniel Falele, huge right tackle, one of the biggest players in college football, Gus. He is 6'9", 380 pounds, and a big reason why they felt like they were going to be able to run the ball well tonight.
I had a chance to stand next to him before the game.
You were like, oh
my goodness. Hadn't been playing football for a long time. Played basketball in Australia, a little lacrosse, but a tremendous athlete.
And he opted out last year due to COVID, so he's back for them. You know, this is a far different team than what they played with a year ago. And remember, a year ago, you know, COVID just ran through this program. They averaged 25 players out a game. You know, so you just throw their record last year out. This is more the team that won 11 games than last year won 3.
2nd down and 6. You wonder if Minnesota will take a shot right here. At the 41.
They're going to do it. I think it's got to be Dalen Wright. He's the bottom of your screen, Gus, and he's one-on-one right now.
Morgan looks to his right. Morgan takes the shot. Incomplete. Wow. Daniel Jackson had a step. And Tanner Morgan just couldn't put it on him.
And you see what the run game has done now. It's forced all this one-on-one coverage on the outside, and now it's time to try those shots, right? To test that secondary. So far, they've had a couple of opportunities. They've come up big a couple of times. We've seen Wright, Daniel Jackson. He's going to have some opportunities as this game goes along as well, because Ohio State is having to commit all their resources to stopping the run.
3rd down and 6 at the 41. Potts in the backfield. And they get it off in time. Morgan under pressure, and he's sacked. Nicely done. Cody Simon shoots through the hole and comes up with the tackle for the loss.
A little bit of a delayed blitz. Watch as he's just going to sit for a second, and then he's just going to shoot right through here. He comes totally unblocked. That's a missed assignment up front. Somebody's got to be responsible for Simon, and that is a huge play for that Buckeye defense.
So that'll take us to the end of the first half. Minnesota has to feel good about themselves. They head into the locker room at halftime on top of the 4th-ranked team in the nation, leading it 14-10. Coming up, the State Farm halftime report. And for you, partner, chicken chili from the Loop. Let's go.
Do you know what the U of M...
College football is brought to you by Ram Trucks. 14-10. Minnesota with the lead over the 4th-ranked team in the nation, Ohio State. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klett. Are you surprised that the Gophers have the lead heading into the second half?
I'm surprised that we've seen the offense for Ohio State sputter a little bit, but what I'm not surprised about is the fact that Mohamed Ibrahim has been as advertised, and really this game totally turned on that 4th and 1, the 56-yard run. This is the guy that they really rely on, and they did in the biggest moment. It was 10-0. He gets 56 yards. They go in, capitalize into the end zone, and it's been very quality Minnesota rushing game from that standpoint. C.J. Stroud has struggled. Listen, early he got a couple of completions, but it's been a series of overthrows. This last one ends in interception. Minnesota would go down and score. It's 8 of 14 for C.J. Stroud in that interception, and Ohio State comes in. They've been dominated in terms of time of possession, and they've got the 1 turnover. And talking with Ryan Day before this game, he basically laid it out. The one area that he was most nervous about coming in this environment was turnovers. He felt like if they played clean, they would win the game. Well, here you are. Now they're -1 in the turnover stat, and they're behind to the Gophers.
And Ryan Day has told everybody that he fully understands he has to win every game. Right now, down by 4 as we start the second half. Henderson will run it from his own goal line. And Henderson plowed down short of the 20. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny Tatt.
So, guys, I didn't sense much stress from Ryan Day at the break, and you guys just talked about it. He wants to see how his new quarterback will handle the ups and downs of the game, and he told me he's working through it. A bit shaky at times. We need a big drive here, but Day also told me no chance he would make a change at quarterback. And as for Minnesota, P.J. Fleck, the decision to go for it on 4th and 1, he said that is Minnesota football. We live and die by those plays. I believe in my players. I believe in our O-line. I believe in Mo getting it done. And he said not a lot of people know about Dalen Wright. They're about to.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. So Ohio State starts at the 19-yard line on 1st down. Stroud decides to run it, turns the corner, and gets out of bounds after picking up 2, maybe 3 yards on the play for Ohio State in terms of their possessions. First possession, a touchdown. Second possession, a field goal. Since then, an interception and a punt.
And yet they're still running the ball for over 10 yards a carry, right? So, you know, that run game, I think, is going to have to allow C.J. Stroud to get his feet wet here.
On 2nd down and 5, 1st down, Buckeyes. Miyan Williams, Ariano Sori, Marin with the tackle.
And I touched on it late there in the first half, but there's a huge difference, folks, as a quarterback between throwing the ball when you have to versus throwing the ball when you want to. Ohio State has got to stay on schedule so that they throw the ball on their terms. That's when it's going to be the most comfortable scenario for their quarterback.
1st down, Stroud near side, Olave getting into the act, cuts it up and picks up a first. Terrell Smith with the tackle.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. You throw the ball on your terms. first downs, second and short, when the defense has to defend the entire field, you've got the ability to run the football and throw those play action fakes in there.
First down, Stroud rolls, throws on the move, and that one short. Garrett Wilson, the target. Makes it 2nd and 10.
You know my favorite part about watching a guy make his first start? What? Is you really have no idea until you go out there. You can't simulate this in a practice. The red jersey's on. You don't get hit. There is no way to know if a guy is going to come out there and be the guy until the lights are on and he's in that pocket for the first time in a real game. And so we're finding out, just like Ryan Day is finding out about number 7.
19 years old, 2nd and 10 at the 41. Here's the handoff to Williams. All sorts of running room. Another first down for Ohio State. Looks like Ryan Day is determined to pound the football at Minnesota.
How many cars can you drive through this hole right there? My goodness, how about that offensive line? Giant hole in the middle of the defense for Minnesota. Miyan Williams gets up onto the second level and a nice little cut to make a miss.
Gain of 15, first down at the 44. And Williams running straight ahead. Pushes the pile forward. Al Martin defensively for the Gophers.
Miyan Williams was not one of these like highly recruited players that we normally speak of at Ohio State. He was just a 3-star and has worked himself into this player. Hit the home run early in a long touchdown run, and here he's getting the bulk of the carries in the 3rd quarter.
2nd down and 4 at the 38. Stroud, deep drop off his back foot and caught. Olave, can he get there? Touchdown, Buckeyes. Bada bing, bada boom. Ohio State marches it right down the field and scores on their first series of the 2nd half to take the lead.
Boy, this is just an impossible concept unless you've got time, because look how long it takes for Chris Olave to develop this route all the way across the field, the deep crossing route, all the way 20, 25 yards down the field. And Stroud has time. They throw a little play action pass. He manipulates the pocket a little bit and then throws a strike down the field. That has got to settle down the young quarterback.
Wonderful throw for C.J. Stroud. Extra point up and good. So C.J. Stroud throws his first touchdown of his collegiate career to the All-American Chris Olave. Ohio State back in front.
Welcome.
Save money like a champion with Allstate. And by Dr. Pepper. Delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper. The one fans deserve. Chris Olave had 1 catch in the first half. He had 2 on that drive, including the touchdown. C.J. Stroud now 10 for 17, 107 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And when you look at champions play, you notice sometimes when they get down, they never panic. They never have that look on their face where doubt is creeping in.
They also have great players that they can throw the ball to. You know, I mean, it's no coincidence to me, Gus, that they came out here in the 2nd half, and who did they target? Who did they go to? Chris Olave, right? That last touchdown pass, that's 1,000% designed for Chris Olave. He runs it great. He's patient. He gets over the top of the defense, and it's a touchdown.
And the ball fair caught at the 2.
You know, this Minnesota team, Gus, falls into this fact or fiction category for me. All these Big Ten teams, right? 2019, great years, 10-4, 11-2, 11-2 for Wisconsin, Michigan, Penn State, Minnesota. And then you saw last year, right? You're like, well, what happened? Listen, throw it out, folks. I'm saying fiction on 2020. All right, I think that this program is more what we saw in 2019. We've seen that from PJ Fleck's crew already tonight. He's sitting here in a great ball game at 17-14 with the 4th-ranked team in the country.
First down and 10 to the 25 for Tanner Morgan.
We'll see a couple of those teams Saturday. Penn State and Wisconsin.
Here's the handoff. Ibrahim cuts it back. And when you look at those records from those teams and you say throw them out, you got to give Ryan Day a lot of credit.
Sure.
Because in the midst of all that, The Ohio State Buckeyes kept it clean. They got through the regular season and then all the way to the national championship.
And not only that, but they hammered Clemson, you know, before that national championship game. And then, you know, they got struck by COVID and Sermon goes down and they ran into a buzzsaw in Alabama. That Alabama team was just historically great. Historically great, in particular on the offensive side.
Second down and 6 at the 29. Morgan guns it underneath. And Dalen Wright.
Man, this is a good team, isn't it? You feel that too? I mean,
yes.
We've been talking about it. This Minnesota team is a really good team. And this was a big question mark for me coming into this game, was who was going to catch the ball on the outside. Chris Ottman-Bell was the guy that we thought would be the #1 wide receiver. He's unavailable. He's injured. He's over in street clothes on the sideline. So Tanner Morgan, the experienced quarterback, dealing with the loss of his father this summer. He needed someone to throw to, and Dalen Wright has been that guy so far.
Gain of 13 for Wright. 1st and 10 at the 42. Opening series of the second half for the Gophers. And the handoff. Ibrahim. Dalen Wright, by the way, 4 catches, 45 yards, including the touchdown. Zach Harrison with the tackle.
You know, and don't underestimate either, you know, the fact that you talked about champions don't panic. You know who else doesn't panic?
Who's that?
Experienced players, right? And Minnesota has those. They've got so many guys that have played so much football, including their quarterback. And Tanner Morgan's maturity, you know, his belief in his teammates, the closeness of this team, even when they were down 10-0, they believed they could get back into it. Even when it was what I thought was kind of a crazy 4th-and-1 decision, they were able to get back into it.
Morgan pulls it out, looking for the deep ball. He's got a receiver. Incomplete and a flag. Daniel Jackson blazing his way down the field. Looks like Craig Young will be called for interference.
Defense, number 16.
Make that Ryan Watts.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
No doubter. He was there way too early, and he probably saved the touchdown because the ball was thrown perfectly. If he didn't basically tackle him, that ball hit Daniel Jackson right in the face mask. A shot dialed up from Mike Sanford, the offensive coordinator, at the perfect time. They got the protection. They got the matchup that they wanted, and Jackson beat him down the field, and Ryan Watts had no choice but to dive on top there and try to prevent the touchdown.
So that makes it 1st down and 10 at the Ohio State 42.
Boy, and this Ohio State defense last year, they just were not good defending the pass, and that has kind of continued so far here in this game.
Morgan again off his back foot, picked off. Proctor up the sideline. Proctor with a lane. Josh Proctor still on the move. Josh Proctor down inside the Minnesota 25. Dalen Wright makes a saving tackle, and that's one Tanner Morgan would love to have back.
Well, guess what? He's going to get it back.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 19, one with a head. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
He absolutely overthrows him here, right? This is a mistake here from Morgan, but watch late as he lets the ball go. Then all the Gant comes up high. Dallas Gant, who was dealing with a foot in spring, finally gets healthy. He gets on the field, and he goes high to the head of Tanner Morgan right there. Probably didn't influence the throw, okay? So the throw is going to happen anyways, and Dallas Gant, ill-advised, goes up high, draws the flag, and now you get the ball and the 15 yards. This is a massive penalty. Reminds me of last week. We saw this in the Saturday game, Illinois and Nebraska. Nebraska's winning that game. Illinois throws a pick. They get a roughing the passer against Nebraska. Illinois went down and scored and never looked back. So you got to capitalize. Huge break from Minnesota. Got to capitalize here on this series.
Wildcat formation now. Ibrahim and Potts in the backfield. Here's Potts. Keeps his balance. Potts hits the sideline. And finally ridden down inside the 20 by Bryson Shaw.
They get into that.
They'll gain 8.
And they get the short yardage crew back on the field. Every time they get into that, 2-3 yards to go, you see all these offensive linemen. I'm not used to this, right? You see all these offensive linemen running on the field as if they're like tight ends or wide receivers. How many we got out there? Okay, let's see. We got 5. We got 6 We got 7, Gus. We got 7 offensive linemen on the field right now and a tight end. Here we go. I got all. We cut out of there.
2nd down and 2. Ibrahim burst. Touchdown, Gophers. P.J. Fleck is making Ohio State coaches coach. They're confused. 10:03 to go, 3rd quarter. Minnesota back in front.
Oh, the numbers game works out. Check this out. You've only got 3 defenders on that side. You've got 3 guys to block them. It's a hat on a hat, and then it's a foot race for the touchdown.
Extra point up and good. 21-17. We've got a ball game, folks, in the Twin Cities. Bowling ball, razor blades. Big time football on Fox right here, right now. Back after this.
Liberty Mutual.
The last time Minnesota beat Ohio State came 21 years ago in Columbus. The Golden Gophers were led by Ron Johnson, who had 163 yards receiving and a touchdown, and Tellus Redmond ran for 118 yards and a touchdown. Since then, Ohio State has won the last 11 meetings.
Oh, but we got a fist fight tonight, don't we?
I love fist fights. Broken glass everywhere. How about this kid? He'd be good in a fist fight. Mohamed Ibrahim. Look at the numbers. 139 yards already. Back in 2018, he ran for 157, 2 touchdowns in that game. He's got 2 touchdowns right now. And it seems like he's just getting started. How does Ohio State respond? This one kicked out of the end zone for a touchback. Starts Saturday strong on Fox with the big noon kickoff pregame show live and on site from Madison at 10 a.m. Eastern. Then it's a triple header featuring 19th ranked Penn State squaring off with number 12 Wisconsin. Then at 4:30 on Fox, number 23 Louisiana takes on number 21 Texas, followed by number 16 LSU making their first ever appearance at the Rose Bowl to take on UCLA. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Man, it's going to be a huge day. We got it kicked off at 10. Can't wait for big noon kickoff. The show's going to be phenomenal. We got Tom Rinaldi. We got Big Noon Bob. We got Matt sitting down with Graham Mertz. Reggie sitting down with Brees Hall. We got it all.
Oh, what a great open field tackle for this Minnesota team. Coney Durr stops Miyan Williams for a loss.
Oh, this is exactly what P.J. Fleck wanted. This place is on fire. The rain is falling. The defense has energy, and his ball club believes. 21-17 right now over Ohio State.
Here's Stroud, delivers, and incomplete. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long. This young man, C.J. Stroud, in his first collegiate game, facing adversity on the road. Bad weather, sellout crowd. 3rd down and 12. They need to get to the 35 for 1st down. And listen to the roar. Olave right there. Stroud steps up in the pocket, wants to run it, and is chopped down short of the 1st down. Donald Willis. Philip Howard. And Ohio State will have to punt it away.
What a great series for Minnesota, and they did such a smart job of staying not only low but over the top of Chris Olave. That's the only guy that's gotten loose for Ohio State in the passing game, so they double covered him. They took him away from C.J. Stroud. Stroud tried to run it. It's exactly plays into the Gophers' hands on 3rd and long, and they rally up to make the tackle.
Jesse Mirko will punt it away. He stands at his own 15. Trey Potts, the deep man for the U, at the 30. And it will bounce out of bounds inside the 25. So Mohamed Ibrahim and the Minnesota offense back on the field, leading it 21-17. Sponsored by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network. 21-17, Minnesota on top of the 4th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. Some stars here. Rashad Bateman, drafted in the 1st round by the Ravens. Stevenson, who won that Olympic gold medal. They want him to come and play football for Minnesota. They say he can play defensive tackle. And then the great John Lynch, Hall of Famer, our former colleague, who runs the San Francisco 49ers. 11 to 12 NFL scouts in town to watch this game. Ibrahim. And let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Gus, Joel, you guys were talking about belief on the Gopher sideline. Wow, you can feel it. And so much of that is thanks to Mo Ibrahim and the way he's playing tonight. In terms of his decision to come back and play for the Gophers, he said it wasn't even really a decision. He knew he had to come back, had so much more to prove. How does he do it? He puts his head down, deletes social media, credits his O-line for all of his success, and said, I have so much more to prove as a Gopher before I leave this place.
All right, Jenny, thank you. 2nd and 9 to the 23. Cam Wiley in the backfield. Tanner Morgan looks, fires over the middle, and it's caught for 1st down. Nicely done. Brevin Spanford.
Time to throw for Tanner Morgan. It was a theme last year for Ohio State. Got a little bit of pressure, but didn't quite get home. There, Zach Harrison just a beat slow, and Morgan's able to step up in the pocket, find his tight end over the middle of the field, and move the chains. So the issues that we saw a year ago for the Buckeyes on defense, Gus, we're seeing the same issues here with this version of the Ohio State defense.
14-yard gain. Makes it 1st and 10 at the 37.
It's the same formation they ran the touchdown for on the last drive.
Wiley picks his way through the hole. It'll lean forward and get to the 40-yard line. Cody Simon defensively, and a flag thrown.
Late flag.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, deep offense, number 64. That's a 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. It's 2nd down.
See at the end here, 64 is Connor Olson. And he's just pushing, and Eichenberg just gets kind of a shove there, and that is not what you would expect from a 6th-year guy. Comes back for his 6th year of eligibility. Of course, remember, all these guys, they had the opportunity to come back here for Minnesota, even if their eligibility would have run out because of the new COVID rules from the NCAA. Olson's one of those guys taking advantage of the 6th year.
Ibrahim. Mohamed Ibrahim. Another big gain for the talented running back out of Baltimore, Maryland. Denzel Burke with the tackle, but a flag.
Yeah, I think this one's coming back. It looked to me like Curtis Dunlap, maybe the right guard, held on that play inside against Haskell Garrett, who was just a force last year for Ohio State. Saw penalties help Minnesota on that last drive. Now certainly putting them behind the 8-ball.
Offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
So here's the right guard. There's Curtis Dunlap, and you're going to see he gets wrapped around. Then right here, he takes his right hand and just pulls Haskell Garrett down. Umpire looking at him. Flag came out right away, and probably didn't need to do that, Gus, because Ibrahim had found that hole all the way kind of the front side. I don't think Garrett was going to get there. And so this experienced offensive line here making a few mistakes on this series.
2nd down and 32 at the 15. Play fake. Morgan over the middle and almost picked off. Denzel Burke just couldn't hold on.
Well, I tell you, Burke almost got the pick, but you know why Dalen Wright took his hands down? He felt the presence of number 41, Josh Proctor. Proctor is in the back end right here, okay? He's the free safety, and he reads this play beautifully, okay? They're trying to run this little run-pass option. Morgan tries to go backside. He is going to hammer Dalen Wright if Dalen Wright goes up and catches that ball. And very astutely doesn't hit him after Wright put his hands down.
3rd down and forever for the Gophers. Ibrahim. And he'll pick up 3 yards on the play. Taraja Mitchell, Cody Simon with the tackle, so Minnesota will send it back in Ohio State's direction.
Well, miscues there. One a mental miscue from the captain and Connor Olson. They get to 15 yards. And then the hold from Curtis Dunlap totally derailed that possession. Kind of took the air out of the building a little bit. And now Ohio State's going to get the ball back after. Got to feel good about your defense on that series. Getting out there, getting off the field, setting you up with some good field position.
Mark Crawford punting from inside his own 5. Takes a bounce, picked up. Wilson, and he's swarmed. Great special teams coverage by the Gophers, but there is a flag. And they pick it up. Coming up, C.J. Stroud and the Buckeyes on 0 right after this.
Wow.
United States continues its road to return to the FIFA World Cup as they take on Canada in Team USA's most important qualifying tournament in history. It all kicks off at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Team USA ranked 10th in the world right now. Stroud delivers down the field. Caught! Wilson, touchdown, Bucks! And Ohio State goes back in front, 23-21.
What a route. Garrett Wilson. Watch him set the safety up, Calvin Swinson. He sets him up to the outside and boom. Goes back to the post. And that's a beautiful throw from C.J. Stroud. You talk about dialing it up. Ryan Day saw the matchup, saw the defense. Minnesota committing to stop the run. He throws the play action fake in there, sets up on a big old shot down the field and gets it.
Extra point up and good. 24-21, Ohio State starting to find some rhythm here in the second half.
We've seen him miss some of those throws down the field, just a bit out of the reach of his wide receivers. Well, not there. No. Garrett Wilson for the touchdown. Had 6 of them last year in the shortened season. He is an absolute star as well. And C.J. Stroud getting that comfort level in the pocket all the time in the world to throw and exploiting the matchup on the field. Beautifully done.
Man. Ryan Day said that C.J. Stroud's body of work between the spring and through the preseason, he separated himself with his decision-making, leadership skills, and accuracy, showing us all the things we needed to see.
I mean, he wants 3 things from his quarterback. He wants his quarterback to make good decisions, make the routine throw, and then the most important one, be bold and confident. And we have seen Stroud now answer the bell here in the third quarter. 3 of 5 for 105 yards and 2 tugs on beautifully designed plays, but great throws down the field. And on each of those, Gus, you know what happened? That run game that's been averaging 10 a pop helped him out. A little play action fake, nobody rushing the quarterback, and he's able to stand back there and deliver a strike.
And it's fair caught at the 1-yard line by Trey Potts. 24-21, 5:12 to go, third quarter. Tanner Morgan.
every time Minnesota has really needed something in this game, they've got it, right? And granted, they got one on a huge penalty on one of those series, but they have gone to their guys up front to open it up in the run game. They've gone to Mo Money, Mohamed Ibrahim, and Tanner Morgan has made a couple of big throws. Let's see if they can answer the bell again.
First down to the 25. Option. Morgan keeps it and doesn't get anything. You never see the traditional option too often in football anymore. Why is that, Joe?
Well, it's just morphed away from that because now there's too many threats and speed on the field. So it's much more dangerous for you as an offense to sit there and read the RPO, the run play action, right? The run pass option and try to get something down the field, whereas the option cuts the field in half. Granted, it can be successful, but you expose your quarterback to a few more hits as he's running the ball down the field. And it's not quite as explosive as some of these spread run/passing attacks.
Ibrahim, he explodes through the hole. Picks up close to 8 yards on the play. Josh Proctor brings him down along with Nathan Ransom.
Because your goal as a defense, here's the deal. Like at every moment, you're just trying to put the defense in conflict, right? And you're trying to put them in conflict, whether it's in the run game and the number of gaps that they have to defend, which you're seeing right here. This is what Minnesota is trying to do, Gus. They go to the Wildcat Y, put all these extra offensive linemen, and then now Ohio State's running around with new personnel trying to defend all these gaps on the field.
And they snap it. Ibrahim looking for the first down, and he has it.
That's what you were talking about earlier. Part of the game plan is that Minnesota's coaching staff knew that Ohio State was inexperienced at linebacker. So what P.J. Fleck wanted to do is force the Ohio State defensive coaches to be coaching on the sideline all game long, talking about all the different formations and personnel groups and what this defense is looking at. And for the most part, they've done a great job of that.
First down from the 36. Ibrahim. Short gain. Stopped on the play by Teron Vincent. Second and 7. 2:40 to go in the third. Play fake. Morgan in trouble. Stripped. Loose. Picked up. Ohio State's got it. Touchdown, Haskell the Rascal. Garrett. Buckeyes come up with a huge turnover.
Pressure was an issue a year ago. They just couldn't quite get to the quarterback. They were always a step late. Chase Young was in the NFL, and now P.J. Fleck watches somebody come into his own. Unfortunately, it's on the other side. Zach Harrison around the edge. Beautiful strip sack right there. Ball comes out, and Haskell, what'd you call it? The Rascal, rumbling for a touchdown. What a play for the Buckeyes.
Ruggles in for the extra point. Hard to keep a man like Haskell Garrett down, folks. Here's a young man that was shot in the face last year, trying to break up a domestic dispute. Harrison gets it, and then here comes a big man.
And how about that bounce? It goes right up, like right into his gut, right? Right place, right time for Haskell Garrett. But a beautiful rush for Zach Harrison. I was talking with strength coach Mick Moriarty before the game. I asked him, I said, hey, you tell me who had the best summer, who's ready to explode. He said Zach Harrison. Zach Harrison needs to produce. The NFL scouts expect him to produce, and he's not going anywhere unless he does. And what does he do? He gets home with the strip stack, and Garrett pays it off in the end zone. And just like that, see, this is what's so dangerous about a talented team like Ohio State, right? You've done everything right if you're Minnesota, and then all of a sudden you get a couple of nondescript holding call like that, and then bam, 14 unanswered points. Why? Because they dial something up to Garrett Wilson, boom, touchdown. All of a sudden you come back, Zach Harrison, beat your tackle, bang, strip sack, Garrett, touchdown. And then you're looking up, you're like, well, dang, that was really fast.
That was fast.
And that's what a team with all this type of talent can do to you, and that's why it's so difficult to face the Buckeyes.
Potts, the deep man for Minnesota. And it's fair caught in the end zone. 31-21. Ryan Day and his Buckeyes. You had that feeling that they found their rhythm in the third quarter, this third quarter. And now they have a 10-point lead with 2:18 to go.
You know, we've been around Ryan a long time, first as a coordinator when he was on Urban Meyer's staff, and now as the head coach of the Buckeyes. Here's one thing, Gus, that I've always really respected about Ryan. Two things, really. One is he never panics, right? Like, he's always like, yeah, well, we'll see. We're pretty good, too. And then, two, he's really bold. So he goes in down, first game of the year, quarterback hasn't looked good, and what does he do in the third quarter? He's like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some shots, right? Normally you'd be like, all right, let's lean on the run game, play it safe, the old coaching adages. And this guy came out very calmly, just decided to dial up some shots, and then his defense creates a big play.
First down and 10, Minnesota with a 10-point deficit. Ibrahim crashing through. Ronnie Hickman defensively.
My biggest thought right now is can Minnesota, so you've gone like 6-7 rounds and you're hanging in there, right? And then you just take two big shots. Can you stick with your game plan? Don't panic. It's only 10 points. You've been down 10 points in this game already. It was 10-0 for a while in the first quarter. They've got to stick with their game plan, stay with the methodic offense, go back to Ibrahim, make sure that they're doing the things that got them in this place in the first place.
Tanner Morgan down the field. He takes a deep shot over the shoulder. Incomplete. Mike Brown-Stevens was the target. Just couldn't hold on.
Good coverage there from Legend Cavazos, the redshirt freshman from San Antonio, Texas. He is right in the hip here of Mike Brown-Stevens. Brown-Stevens had to get on the field last year due to some COVID issues. He was one of those guys that all of a sudden found himself out there in situations that he had never been in. And I think Legend may have gotten away with a little tug there at the end of that play. Probably could have seen some laundry on the field there.
Third down and 6 at the 29. Morgan underneath, caught, and a first down. Potts normally lines up in the backfield, ran a nice route there as Cody Simon brings him down.
What I love about that is the matchup, because they had Taraja Mitchell, the linebacker, all the way out on the outside, and that's a little bit of fish out of water. You got to think that Trey Potts can win that battle, and he did there over Mitchell, who was voted captain last week.
Gain of 12. First down at the 41.
Nice little answer so far on this drive.
Ibrahim spinning out of a tackle, and he couldn't keep his footing. Good job by Ronnie Hickman. Knocked him off balance. Hickman from Wayne, New Jersey, sophomore. DePaul Catholic.
If Morgan keeps that ball, and this is not good. This is not what you want to see. Ibrahim is now down there looking at looks like his left leg. He tried to limp off the field and just couldn't do it and went down. This is not what you want to see. Let's hope this is just a cramp.
Ibrahim, 29 carries, 159 yards, averaging 5.5 yards per carry to go along with 2 touchdowns. His long run, 56 yards on 4th and 1. Ooh. Hopefully it is a cramp. And he'll limp off the field.
Gosh, that's just...
He may be heading into the locker room right now. Yeah. Trey Potts, Cam Wiley will have to pick up the slack. Potts in the backfield. They give it to him. He tries to break it back and does. Dallas Gant with the stop. And that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Ohio State 31, Minnesota 21. Coming up the 4th quarter from the Twin Cities right after this.
As someone who resembles...
Fox College Football is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Start of the 4th quarter here in Minneapolis. Ohio State a big 3rd quarter, 21 points to take a 31-21 lead. And Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren in attendance for this one, and he will be in Madison for the Penn State-Wisconsin game on Saturday. Commissioner came into the booth before the game, said hello. Good to see him, as always. 3rd down and 7 for the Gophers. Empty backfield for Tanner Morgan.
Gosh, if they run a little QB draw here, he's going to get the 1st down. There's no second-level player.
Morgan delivers over the middle, caught right. 1st down and a little bit more. Dalen Wright knocked out a play by Ronnie Hickman. And I'll tell you what, when Chris Autman-Bell comes back, they're going to have a nice tandem at receiver.
They really will, but watch this. They got the pick routes going, and they're coming across like that. And check this out. The tight end just goes and straight blocks him. Flag should have come out. That's a total miss by the officials. Should have been offensive pass interference, but Minnesota gets away with it, and an easy 1st down because.
Gain of 12, 1st down and 10 at the 44. Wright, 5 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Here's the handoff, and it's Wiley, and he's upended in the backfield. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Steel Chambers, how about this kid? He's changed positions this year.
I tell you, man, it's all hands on decks right now. Steel Chambers was a running back. He decided to go over to the linebacker corps because they were so thin, and here he is. He finds himself on the field. I mean, this switch is pretty fresh. It just happened kind of right at the beginning of fall, so Steel Chambers has not been playing on the defensive side that much, and this is what I'd be worried about is, does he know his gap responsibility? This is when all those extra offensive linemen could pay dividends for Minnesota if they can get out there and confuse these linebackers.
No gain on the last play. 2nd and 10 at the 44. Morgan drops back, checks down, has his man Jackson, 1st down. And he gets out of bounds at the 30. Tell you what, Tanner Morgan knows how to move this offense.
Yeah, he absolutely does. This guy is an absolute gamer. He's a competitor. PJ Fleck said he is the most competitive guy I've ever been around. And with what he's dealt with this summer, the perspective that he has, the heart that he's showing here tonight.
And a flag in the
illegal substitutions, offense, 12 men breaking the huddle, 5-yard penalty, down.
They've been trying to run in different personnel groups so that they can give different looks to Ohio State almost every play. There they just get caught. They're in an operational error. But you see what they're forcing Ohio State to do. See all these guys just running on and off the field for Ohio State. It's like every play.
1st down and a long 15 now. At the Ohio State 34. No quit in this Gopher team. A handoff, and it's Potts. One thing you got to say about Minnesota, they came into this game prepared. They don't have the same amount of bullets as Ohio State, but P.J. Fleck, folks, heck of a football coach. Former NFL player with the San Francisco 49ers. He has boundless energy and enthusiasm, positivity. You want to play for a man like this. Former Big Ten Coach of the Year, MAC Coach of the Year when he was at Western Michigan.
You cannot argue with the job that he's done here or Western Michigan. This team looks like they're going to be formidable this year. Let's hope Mo Ibrahim is okay. He just walked off the field earlier this series.
And a handoff to Potts. 1 second and long. And you get the feeling that this Minnesota team is going to have to really open it up with the passing game in Tanner Morgan.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Which then, conversely, you give another shot to the pass rushers, right? And so now a guy like Zach Harrison is going to have another opportunity. He came up with a huge play already in a passing situation with the strip sack of Morgan, and here he's going to be at the bottom of your screen here. Obvious passing situation. We'll see if he can get home.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was 4-down territory for Minnesota.
If that's the case, then what you do is you call a play here that you're confident can get half of it back, and they'll actually call a timeout.
So the Gophers call the timeout. 11:25 to go in the fourth. They're down by 10.
Why is it the best wireless deals?
Sponsored by Pacific Life, more than 150 years strong. Protect what matters most. And by Discover, the official card of the Big Ten Conference. Been a great game tonight, folks. 31-21. Ohio State, the fourth-ranked team in the nation, against this scrappy Minnesota squad. Gophers faced with a 3rd down and 10 at the Ohio State 29. 11th play of the drive that started at the Minnesota 25. Wiley in the backfield with Tanner Morgan, the quarterback. Morgan hands it off. Wiley around the corner. And Wiley, great open field tackle for Ohio State. Ryan Watts, the redshirt freshman from Little Elm, Texas, comes up and makes the hit.
Terrific open field tackle. There's no doubt about it. And that's going to force Minnesota here into a field goal opportunity.
So a 45-yard field goal attempt by Matthew Trickett. Got it up and good. Matthew Trickett sat out last year after spending 3 seasons at Kent State. Makes it a 31-24 game. State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. 31-24. Big field goal by Matthew Trickett. The transfer from Kent State, where he was the MAC Special Teams Player of the Year.
I think they wanted to go for it on 4th down if they would have gotten inside of, like, let's say, like 4th and 3 or 4th and 4. I think that he would have gone for it. But because of that tackle in the open field by Ryan Watts, I think it was like 4th and 7. He decided to kick it, trick it with a big kick. But hey, listen, if I'm P.J. Fleck, I'm reminding my team, hey, before the game, if you would have given Minnesota 10:39 left, 31-24 Ohio State, would you take it? They'd all say, yep, let's go. And let's go play from there. And so at this point, I feel like Minnesota has still put themselves in a really good position. Now they just have to go execute and try as best they can to stop the 1st and 2nd down run game of Ohio State, which has allowed Ohio State to then throw that play action pass that has been so devastating here in the 2nd half, Gus.
Kasich will send it away. And he drives this one deep once again for a touchback.
The Pacific Life game summary sponsored by Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Protect what matters most. CJ Stroud has found his rhythm here in the second half. Mohamed Ibrahim has been terrific. He has been in the medical tent for the better part of the last about 10-15 minutes. And then it was the big plays here late in the game from Ohio State. Couple of big throws from Stroud for a touchdown. Then the huge strip sack from Zach Harrison gets the ball out, and Garrrett rumbled for a touchdown. And just like that, it was 21 in the third quarter alone for the Buckeyes. And here they are with a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter.
First down, Ohio State. TreVeyon Henderson in the backfield. They give it to him. He breaks it back, breaks a tackle, and finally is wrapped up by Tyler Newman. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, unfortunately, guys, this is not the update you want from me. Mo Ibrahim has left the medical tent just now. He's walking into the locker room, and as you can see, the walking boot on his left leg. He was also icing the lower half of his left leg. Seems to be walking okay in the boot, but not a good sign for Mo. His night is done.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. 5-yard gain on the last play. 2nd and 5 at the 30. Henderson remains in. Bad snap picked up by Stroud. He slips and throws incomplete. Garrett Wilson, the target, brings up a big 3rd down. And 5 for the Minnesota defense. If they can get off the field here, this game gets even more interesting. 3rd down 5. They drop it off. Here's Henderson. 1st down and more on the screen. What a burst! TreVeyon Henderson! As advertised, touchdown Buckeyes!
Holy cow.
70 yards!
Welcome to college football, TreVeyon Henderson. First of all, you got Minnesota confused. They vacate a zone, and it allows TreVeyon Henderson to go out of the left side of the backfield, and there's no one there. Ruckert's trying to find someone to block. Ruckert goes up onto the safety, and then it's just go time for TreVeyon Henderson.
40-24. Ohio State extra point is good. Lightning in a bottle. TreVeyon Henderson, the freshman from Hopewell, Virginia, scoops it up and takes it to the house. Big time play for the Buckeyes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Minnesota, the Buckeyes have opened up a 14-point lead. Coming up on the post-game show, the guys are going to break down the turning points in this one. Plus, we're going to look ahead of that huge top 20 showdown Saturday on Fox, Wisconsin, Penn State. Gus, are you ready for the cheese curds and the brats in Badgerville with us, my friend?
No doubt about it, but I see you're getting wet down there, partner. You know what they say. Vanilla melts when it gets wet.
Oh, man. Come on. Week 1 already, brother? Week 1?
Man.
So the Buckeyes send it away. And it's fair caught at the 5. How about TreVeyon Henderson? 5-star recruit, an early enrollee at Ohio State. He did not play his senior year of high school ball at Hopewell in Virginia because the state moved its fall sports season to the spring due to COVID. And he had already made the decision to enroll at Ohio State in January. But I tell you what, man, what a burst of speed. A terrific debut for this young man.
#1 running back in the country. Highest rated running back to come to Ohio State. See that burst right there. Now, granted, that was a total bust, misassignment in coverage from Minnesota. But what do great players do there? You got to make them pay, and he did that. And, man, the burst, I tell you, that was electric.
So here's a handoff to Potts. And Trey Potts chopped down, but he picks up a 1st down. Josh Proctor with the tackle. You know Minnesota is going to continue to fight. An eternity remaining in this game. 38-24. Remember, Mohamed Ibrahim, has left the game in a boot, a lower leg injury. So it all falls on Tanner Morgan, the veteran quarterback. Morgan over the middle and caught. Nicely done. Daniel Jackson found the seam. And Morgan put it on the money.
That was a great throw, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Gus, how many times in the last 7 years that we've worked together have you heard me say on the inside breaking routes, you got to put the ball on the frame of the wide receiver? That's exactly what Tanner Morgan did right there. He can't be stretched out. He can't reach for it. You got to hit him right in the frame. And that's exactly what he did.
16-yard gain. First down and 10. Potts bottled up and taken down around the line of scrimmage. Another good tackle. This time, Cody Simon. I'll tell you what, this Ohio State team, I think they're tackling very well. That's one thing that the defense has done a pretty good job of.
Yeah, a few years ago, remember they struggled immensely tackling. Jeff Hafley came in, they turned it around.
Very well. That's one thing that the defense has done a pretty good job of.
Yeah, a few years ago, remember they struggled immensely tackling. Jeff Hafley came in, they turned it around. They had such a great year on defense. Last year they struggled, but for different reasons under Kerry Combs in his first season back here at Ohio State as the defensive coordinator. And they tackled decently last year. They gave up way too many big plays. 27 of them actually that went over 25 yards. That was more 25 or more yard plays than they gave up the previous year.
Morgan, he'll slide down inside the 40.
I think a big part of the problem last year was that it was so hard to replace Jordan Fuller. Remember how good Jordan Fuller was a couple of years? Of course, he was just named captain of the Los Angeles Rams.
Of course he was.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, he was an academic All-American.
And now we've seen some great tackling today. Proctor had some open field tackles. You just saw Ryan Watts on the last series on that third down had a terrific tackle on the outside. So we've seen some good tackling from this Buckeye defense.
3rd and 6 at the 40-yard line. Tanner Morgan goes through his reads. Over the middle. He's got a man. Nice. At the 25. Brevin Spanford.
Well, that was really good movement in the pocket. And again, that rush just almost got there. And Proctor is down. Is not a guy that they can afford to lose. Josh Proctor, he's probably their best player in the secondary. He plays that kind of that center field position that Jordan Fuller played.
Senior from Oklahoma. 38-24. Back after this. (38-24) Ohio State on top of Minnesota. Under 7 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Gophers first down and 10 at the Ohio State 26. Potts. He'll gain 2. Brings up 2nd and 8. Dallas Gant defensively for the Buckeyes.
And this Buckeyes defense is banged up. They came into the game. Cam Brown wasn't available at corner. Sevyn Banks at corner. He's been banged up. They started with Ryan Watson, Denzel Burke, the true freshman. We've seen now Proctor go down. They're trying to find their rotation at linebacker.
Second and 8. Tanner Morgan throws it, And incomplete. Daniel Jackson, the intended receiver, no flag on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 8. Ryan Watts covering.
Well, here's the end of the play here, and crowd wants a flag because of this grab on the jersey. No, that's a tough one. You know, probably not a pass interference, but we've seen a couple tonight where they did throw the flag. But what is beginning to be a factor is this clock now. In a 2-possession game, 5 minutes and 48 seconds left with the way Ohio State has played offense here in this second half. You know, the sense of urgency needs to start to creep up a little bit here for Minnesota.
Bryce Williams checks in at running back. 6 on the play clock. 3rd down and 8. Morgan underneath, caught. Jackson down at the Ohio State 2. Bryson Shaw with the saving tackle. But Tanner Morgan put some hot sauce on that football.
Great route there. Giving a little outside move by Daniel Jackson, then getting up the field, and here good tempo from Minnesota.
1st down and goal at the 2. They hand it off. Touchdown. Gophers. Bryce Williams. With the extra point coming. This one is not over.
There was that urgency that I spoke of, right? Clock starting to become a factor. Boom, they hit the big play down the middle of the field and then get the tempo and punch it into the end zone. Great answer.
Trick it in for the extra point. And good. 38-31. 5:31 to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, first it was Morgan. This was a great route by Daniel Jackson. Watch his route. He's going to go to the outside, and then he gets to the inside. Terrific job working against Lathan Ransom. Right there, he gets the outside move, and then Morgan steps up, throws an absolute bullet. Where? Right on the frame. Across the middle. That's so key. Setting up the touchdown as Bryce Williams lunges forward for the score. And Minnesota right in this thing. 38-31. Doing a great job against this Buckeye defense. Now Minnesota has 364 yards, 193 of those coming on the ground. And Tanner Morgan has just, he's been kind of a bulldog tonight, hasn't he, Gus?
Yes, he has.
You know, 12 of 21, 171 yards and a touchdown. Just continues to will his team and lead his team down on some of these scoring drives.
So TreVeyon Henderson is a deep man. And this one sailing into the end zone for another touchback. 5:31 to go. Morgan, no quit in this man. Playing for his dad.
They have got to get him the ball. The way that offense works, obviously you take it at any point, but you'd love a little more than 2 minutes to go, so that you would have the ability to continue to run those RPO plays, the run pass option plays. Minnesota has 2 timeouts. There's 5:31 left. It's like Miyan Williams comes back on the field at running back. Minnesota, Gus, is going to have to sell out to stop the run here. Their corners on the outside are going to be in one-on-one situations.
And they'll hand it off. Williams. Nice gain, still moving. Williams tried to cut it back. Miyan Williams has been terrific tonight for Ohio State. He's run the ball so deliberately.
He doesn't even have 10 carries. He's over 100 yards, right? He's averaging
130 yards. 9 carries, 130 yards, averaging close to 15 yards a carry.
I mean, feed that man. Ran for over 5,800 yards in high school and 68 touchdowns in the state of Ohio from the Cincinnati area. And now it's going to be on him to put this game away.
Out of the pistol. Play fake. Stroud wants to throw over the middle. Caught at the 40-yard line. Olave still moving. Olave with the burst. Too sweet. Chris Olave. A 61-yard touchdown. And that may do it for Ohio State, 44-31.
How about just the haymakers from Ohio State tonight? We've seen a 71-yard run, 56-yard catch, 70-yard catch. Now Olave, does he stay in?
Looks like he did.
Oh, he is too sweet. Look at him. He just tiptoes up the sideline. Watch right here. He's like, I know where I'm at. Eyes up. Allows the block to take place.
Well, what is it about Chris Olave, Joel? He doesn't look like the fastest. He doesn't look like the biggest, but he's the best.
He's a natural. He's a natural. Everybody in any sport, when you see those players, and you see basketball players like this, you see baseball players like this, that they're just a natural. As you see kind of the list of all the huge plays for Ohio State tonight. As we see one more look here, as they're taking a look at this down the sideline, you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
When you watch him run routes down the middle of the field, see his sense along the sideline, it's like King Griffey swinging a bat, right? It's just innate. There's a smoothness to it. He's a natural. Chris Olave playing wide receiver is like a beautiful left-handed swing in baseball. It just looks like nothing can go wrong. There's no panic in it. There's no rigidity in his movement. He's too sweet.
Some players, what I've learned in my 30 years as sportscaster, some players just have it. You can't really explain it, but you know it when you see it. Watch Too Sweet. Watch his hesitation move. Oh, we didn't get a chance to see it. What a player. And remember when we first laid eyes on him?
Yes.
The Michigan game, he blocked the punt.
Yes. I called him the wrong name. I'll never live that down. That was the worst moment of my broadcast career, by the way. I called Chris Olave the wrong name because there was double numbers. And he was a redshirt freshman, I believe.
And nobody told us about it.
No one told us that day. And he was wearing 17. He goes in and blocks the punt. So we see the first start for the quarterbacks under Ryan Day. Maybe not quite what the other guys did as far as the efficiency. But boy, the bulk of the numbers were there. Thanks in large part to those big plays. He does come away with those 4 touchdown passes. And that second half was a masterclass in the big play, quick strike ability of Ohio State. And Gus, both on offense and defense, getting that strip sack for a touchdown as Stroud certainly settled in and played much better in the second half than he did in the second quarter.
Kid showed some terrific composure on the road for his college debut. And it's fair caught at the 11-yard line. College football is back, folks. Don't forget the fans are back, and so is Fox's Big Noon Kickoff. Rob, Brady, Matt, Reggie, and Coach Stoops are on the road with us for the first 4 weeks of the season as we travel to Minnesota, Madison, Columbus, Norman, and Chicago. Big Noon Kickoff at 10 a.m. Eastern every Saturday on Fox, and it's so good to see Coach Stoops with us. Seems like we have really majorly upgraded that position.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Our friend Urban Meyer's getting ready to play some NFL football down in Jacksonville. We wish him the best.
And we know he's watching. And as you know, Coach, it's all about recruiting. And we just recruiting better people now.
That's right. 1st and 10 for Minnesota. Morgan throws out of the pocket, throws on the move, and incomplete.
Cue the text in 3, 2, 1.
Exactly.
Can't wait for Big Noon Kickoff on Saturday. Folks, you're going to want to watch Tom Rinaldi on Saturday. He's with us at Fox Sports. We could not be more thrilled to have Tom Rinaldi. He's going to explore the inspirational story behind Penn State's Joey Porter Jr. and his mission to make an impact far beyond the football field. It'll be an amazing feature. You want to check it out. Remember, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Big Noon Kickoff on site in Madison. It's going to be awesome.
2nd down and 10. Morgan over the middle. And it's a completion, this time to Mike Brown Stevens.
and that game is going to be great Saturday, too.
You think?
I really do. I think both of those teams are primed for a great bounce back. Similar to this Minnesota team. This Minnesota team is going to be very good this year. Minnesota, I think, has a chance to be really good, Gus.
I do, too. Morgan. Underneath, and that one broken up. Denzel Burke, the freshman, has had a solid game.
I think he just had the one pass interference in the end zone. Other than that, I thought Burke has played well. Kerry Combs, he's been around for a long time and seen all of these. You remember, I mean, all these first-round defensive backs that Ohio State have had over the years, right? Kerry Combs have seen all of them when they were young players. And I said, well, where's Denzel in there? And he goes, oh, he's right in that category at this stage of his career.
2nd down and 10 at the 39. Tanner Morgan. And he has a receiver over the middle. Nice catch. Mike Brown-Stevens. Oh, no, he dropped it, and Stevens is down. He took a hard hit.
And down by rule, first down. Timeout for an injured player.
He's coming across the middle. Huge hit from the safety,
Lathan Ransom.
I know instinctively you see a player down like that and you immediately think, at least I do, of like, well, was that targeting? And it's so difficult to see right there. Maybe that last look, you would see some of that helmet-to-helmet contact. I believe that Mike Brown-Stevens would most likely get defenseless player protection, so any contact to the head or neck area in a forcible manner would result in a flag. And I think that they'll probably look at this, and this becomes a monster moment, Gus, not necessarily in this game,
but for next week.
But for next week, as Ohio State will prepare for Oregon at home.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. The previous play is under further review.
Of course, if they put targeting on in this position at this time of the game, then Lathan Ransom, who has been one of their best players in the defensive secondary of an already very thin defensive secondary, would miss the first half of the Oregon game, as Oregon comes in as one of the most talented teams that Ohio State has played in the regular season in a long time.
Got some good linebackers over there at Oregon, that's for sure.
You know, and for the first time in a long time, the best player on the field in the shoe won't be in an Ohio State uniform. Let's go back to L.A. Mike Pereira, you're with us here. Big moment in this game for next week. And Lathan Ransom, what are your thoughts here as they're reviewing targeting? I don't think Mike is with us quite yet.
All right, we'll wait for Mike Pereira.
Joel,
take a look.
Okay, here we go. There he is, Mike.
There we go. So 2 things they're looking at here. Let's remember now, they ruled on the field catching down. So it looks to us like it is a catch because he gets a foot down, moving up field, and the ball comes out before he hits the ground. It's between his legs laying there, but that's not possession. And then an Ohio State player comes and picks it up. But then the other thing, of course, targeting would trump that. And even though I think it's catch fumble, that receiver is still defenseless. So as you have said, with helmet-to-helmet contact, they can put targeting on this, which would then, of course, the ball would remain in the hands of Minnesota.
So a lot going on this review. Mike, if you're still with us, have you gotten a sense? What do you think? This is our best look right there. It definitely looks like there's some contact to the head area of the defenseless player. I will not be surprised at all if they put a targeting on here.
And let's remember now, this is not a crown of the helmet.
After further review, the receiver possessed the ball. He was hit and subsequently fumbled. That fumble was recovered by Ohio State, number 35, at the 41-yard line. It'll be Ohio
Okay, so let's unpack this. Mike, stay with us for a moment here, because we were under the assumption that all of that was under review, but they did not put on targeting. Remember, targeting was not called on the field. They would have had to put it on in replay. They decided not to, didn't even touch it on the announcement there, and it's just now Ohio State football, as you were talking about with the catch.
Right, and I think, remember here, we're talking about a defenseless player. Even though he had caught the ball, he did not have the ability to protect himself. So you're not talking about crown of the helmet. You're just talking about contact of the head or shoulder of the defenseless player. So to me, I really do think it is targeting, and the ball really should have been given back to Minnesota. And I think that, you know, Minnesota's got a point here. Coach Fleck does, of being upset.
I totally agree with you. I think that this defenseless protection really needed to be given to Mike Brown-Stevens in that situation, which would have negated that catch fumble, and I thought it should have been targeting there. I'm with you, Mike.
So Ohio State takes over with the lead and the football as they stay on the ground with 3 minutes and 53 seconds and counting remaining in the fourth quarter.
And Gus, you know, I'm always trying to keep players in the game, but Mike Brown-Stevens has no ability to protect himself there, and so if he's contacted in the head or neck area, which he was, I think he deserves that protection. Do you agree? I know it's. See, this is. I think
it was a good football play by Lathan Ransom. An incidental contact with the head neck area. I just don't see throwing players out of the game for something. Well, a bang play like that.
Here's where I'll agree with you. This is where the rule needs to change.
It needs to be adjusted.
Should be a penalty and not an ejection. Right. In that sense, right there, that's the play right there that needs to be considered for a foul, but not removing the player from the game. This is where the rules are just. They're not good, right?
We understand that they're trying to protect players.
I get it. No, I totally.
Especially with the technology of the equipment and how the equipment can be almost like a weapon. But this is football, American football, and that kind of stuff happens, and it's just what it is, in my opinion.
No, listen. I'm not disagreeing with you, and I think that we can.
But I don't like seeing players get kicked out of the game for something like that.
Totally agree. That's
not being able to play next week for a half. I mean, that's.
Because there was a no-win situation there.
Yeah. What was he supposed to do?
Well, what was the defender supposed to do? Yeah. I think the receiver
is number 3. 5-yard penalty. They're down.
The receivers probably owed protection.
And like if you see guys launching with the crown of the helmet,
that's right.
Then I understand.
That's right.
You can eject them from the game.
Right. That's right. Targeting.
3rd down and 2. Ohio State trying to close this one out now. Crowder, 1st down.
Let's take a look here. Time now for today's celebration moment, sponsored by Allstate. Who's going to be celebrating tonight? Tonight, it was TreVeyon Henderson and the Buckeyes. As that score right there sent everybody into a tizzy in Buckeye land. And I know, Gus, you know those fans watching, those Buckeye faithful wanted to see TreVeyon Henderson. And if the hype was real, and I think even though there was certainly a misassignment there on defense, boy, you saw the electricity out of that young running back, and that's certainly exciting moving forward for this Ohio State team and program.
Here's Marcus Crowder. Oh, by the way, how'd you like the chili?
Chili was fantastic. I'm wondering if Stroud had some chili, because he came out
yes, he did
in the second half, and he was terrific. And that's exactly the half that he needs leading into this schedule for Ohio State, namely next week. That is a monster game in the shoe against Oregon. We'll be there. Gus, obviously Indiana, we were in Columbus last year for that epic battle between Tom Allen's club, the Hoosiers, taking Ohio State really down to the wire, as Ohio State kind of got through the season last year as it was.
Penix, Freifogel back for Coach Allen's Hoosiers. It's funny, I've run into a lot of Indiana alums recently, and they say, hey, we're actually a football school now.
They are. That Indiana team, I mean, you can make an argument that in the Big Ten schedule, I believe that, listen, Michigan people, I'm standing next to a couple of them right here. Indiana is Ohio State's main threat, I believe. I think Penn State's going to be pretty good, but Indiana, there's something about Indiana and Penix and those wide receivers, the way Tom Allen has built that team and that program. I think Indiana is sitting right there. Penn State's going to be very tough. Those are the two main threats on that side of the division for this Buckeye team. And we'll see Penn State on Saturday.
But for Minnesota, they'll lose the game, but a great effort at home. 45-31 the final. DJ Fleck's got something to work with this year. And so do the Ohio State Buckeyes. They have that man, Chris Olave. And a quarterback in C.J. Stroud that really showed us something. He settled down in the second half and leaves with big numbers. 13 of 22, 294, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. And the Ohio State Buckeyes start the season 1-0. Let's go downstairs to Jenny with Coach Day.
Well, Gus, that's exactly the direction I wanted to go because Coach Day said it was all about going 1-0. You do so on the road, face some adversity, but to get a win in this fashion, how does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, coming here, conference game on the road, Thursday night, new quarterback. It was a little rainy, a little wet early on, couldn't get into a rhythm. And then the way we came out in the second half, just really proud of our guys. Early on to get a test like this to show some grit against adversity is going to go a long way this season.
Well, I'm going to ask you about your new quarterback, C.J. Stroud. And you mentioned at the break that he was kind of going through some things. What adjustments did you see him make between the first and the second? I talked to him before we went into this game that no matter what happens, we're just going to keep pushing it and keep throwing it. And he missed a couple early on, but we just kept working through that. And when you're a freshman quarterback, you've never thrown a college pass before. You have to get into a rhythm. He did, and I thought the older guys really helped him out. In the offense, the offensive line, and obviously the guys on the perimeter. All right, we look forward to seeing you next week. Oregon coming to town. Thanks, Coach.
All right, Jenny, thanks.
And not only did C.J. Stroud make some adjustments, so did Ryan Day.
There's no doubt. Big plays. He dialed it up for those veterans, and then the youth also. TreVeyon Henderson with a big old play. 35 points in the second half in Ohio State. They show that they still have some of that explosiveness.
All right, the final score in Minneapolis, Ohio State 45, Minnesota 31. We will have more post-game coverage from Rob and the guys after this break. For Joel Klatt and Jenny Taff, I'm Gus Johnson saying good evening from the Twin Cities.
As someone who resembles